Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about some new developments when it comes to the Russian Space Agency. And we'll kind of catch everybody up on what has happened since the last time we covered them. If you missed it, it wasn't that long ago that the Russian Space Agency took a pretty tough stance when it comes to everything that's going on, and basically enacted their own sanctions on the West. Said they wouldn't provide rocket engines or maintenance, and in general said a whole bunch of really not nice things about the West, and particularly Americans, when it comes to their available technology. Of course, predictably, SpaceX stepped up and was like, yeah, don't worry about it, we got rockets. And then the Russian Space Agency was like, yeah, well, we'll leave an American astronaut on the International Space Station. And SpaceX was like, I guess we can give him a ride if we need to, but that seems silly. And it kind of went back and forth like that. But see, this weird thing has happened. It appears that the Russian Space Agency has softened its tone a little bit. Roscosmos sends written appeals to NASA, the Canadian Space Agency, and the European Space Agency with a demand to lift illegal sanctions from our enterprises. That seems weird. That seems odd because last I heard, all we had were broomsticks to fly up there on. What's happening is that these sanctions are taking hold. They're starting to have impacts, particularly in the space sector in Russia. Russia is finding out that particular industry is not quite as independent as they once believed. But see, the other part about it that seems odd to me is I went and looked, and I couldn't find any illegal sanctions. I couldn't find any sanctions at all. Kind of like trying to look for that war in Ukraine. You don't find the war, you find a special military operation. Couldn't find sanctions, but I did find a special economic operation. The funny thing is, I'm willing to bet that when the not war ends in Ukraine, the economic operation would probably end as well. At least most of it. I'm sure the West is going to keep some in place for punitive measures. So this is actually an industry that's pretty sensitive to stuff like this. There are a lot of components that have to come from a lot of places. So the fact that this is kind of the first sign we're seeing that these sanctions are having an impact isn't really surprising. Other industries, other sectors, they're not going to be far behind. So we can expect to see more of this, and hopefully the Russian government will soften its stance overall before it really starts to hurt the average Russian there. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.